You got this janky ass Instagram. Hey,
stop,
work, man.
Stop. Don't. You know you don't know how to work this. So stop.
I really don't. Hey, that's for y'all young kids.
Yeah, young kids. First of all, happy birthday today.
Thank you, dog. I appreciate it.
Can you tell the people how old you are today?
Nah, man, you don't even. I'm 41 years old, baby. 41 and beautiful. Let me tell you something.
Wow.
Don't get much better than that, you know.
Wow, 41.
Yes, I am.
I'm amazed by that. You know, DC is crazy, man. Like I was thinking the other day, you know, we go way back. I know you might not even remember it, but we go way, way back.
Yes.
I remember
the training center, young boy.
Yeah, even before, like I remember when I was in high school. I think it was maybe junior year, the summer of my junior year. Mm-hmm. And that was when I started getting into wrestling a lot. And so I started looking at all the magazines, you know, back then Win magazine was like real hot. And I started like looking at all these magazines because I wanted more knowledge. I was seeking more knowledge. Who were the best wrestlers? Who was the top wrestlers in the world, in the country? And that's when I seen you and King Mo was on there.
Yeah.
That's when I first started following you guys, you know, and I'm like, oh man, like, you know, this is not a race thing or anything, but it was just like, man, there's two black dudes on there that do. I can do this. I can get it. It was so much motivation and inspiration for me that I could one day achieve and get to the level that you guys were at. So I was following it, and then I was at Fargo, and then you guys had a camp at Fargo. And I think it was right after you guys had just competed in that Real Pro Wrestling after they did that.
Yes.
And I remember me and my boy Aaron, we were outside. You know how kids just scalp singlets outside? And we're outside, we're scalping singlets. And then we seen you two come around. And, of course, there was a lot of other, you know, wrestlers going, but y'all were the two that we wanted to see. And y'all came around, and I'm like, oh, Aaron, that's it. That's him. That's them right there. That's them. And I remember we walked up to you guys. We were like, what's up, man? And y'all was so cool. You and King Mo, y'all was so cool. It was like, oh, snap. These dudes is like us. And they cool.
You know,
just like that.
Whenever we were wrestling, you know, it was a lot about, I always thought that there was a thing that Kane said once, that it was good for him to see people who look like him achieve such great things, right? So Julio Cesar Chavez and all those guys, they meant the world to him. And honestly, it felt like that for us to be able to be that guiding light for young, especially young black wrestlers, to show them that, you know, you could achieve pretty much anything. And that the story is like very good because I didn't remember that. You know, I was so focused on trying to become an Olympian and become a world champion that we're probably, you know, look, man, that's why today, like when you see people, right? You see people, you meet people, you never know who they're going to become, right? But I mean, you know, I met you on, and no one would have thought, Mo and I would have thought that experience meant that much to you and your buddy. But obviously
absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely. And just to touch on that a little bit too, push that further is, you know, like, and I always said it, I've said it in a few interviews, and when you're saying it, sometimes it feels surreal to you. When I say it, is I didn't choose to be in the spot where I am now. You know, I didn't choose to be, you know, the first African-born, you know, fighter to win a UFC title. I didn't choose to be that, you know, and I don't realize how many kids are looking at that moment saying, oh, I'm going to be there. You know, and you guys, like you said, you guys didn't realize it, but that meant so much to us that you guys were those guys to where now when I was wrestling, I had a little extra motivation. Like, man, I can get there. I could be there. And, you know, and Mo probably doesn't even know this too, because I tried to talk to him a couple of times, but even with Mo was, you know, he wrestled in Texas. You know, and he became a state champion out of Texas, I believe, and then went over to UCO to where he became a 3-time All-American, then transferred over with you guys and became an All-American there. And Mo doesn't realize this, but I was chasing him.
Yeah.
When I went Division II, I was like, oh, I'm gonna become a national champion. And then I became a 3-time All-American, became a national champion as well. And I was like, you know, that last year I was like, yo, I might have to slide out and go somewhere. But you know, I stayed, you know, and I just don't think people believe or people realize, because nowadays you see it now. Everybody's into this. Oh, I'm gonna talk trash. I gotta play this character. I gotta play this. And that's one thing that I always say is I'm not necessarily into that, because I want to be me. Because at the end of the day, I know that I'm motivation for somebody else.
You know what the crazy thing is that when you think about people trying to talk and build interest in their fights and being somebody. Look, it does not matter in regards to whether or not that's going to. I don't know if that negatively will affect a everybody loved me. I was the Olympian. I was the guy that people just loved. And then I won the Strikeforce tournament. They thought, oh, he's great. And then I went through that time with Jones, and people booed me, right? And I could not understand it. I begged, why are you guys booing me? I'm not the guy that did this, this, and the other. And then I stared into it, right? Then I just said, okay, I'm going to stare into this.
Yeah.
And once I stared into it, I remember when Rumble and I fought in Buffalo. I said, boo me. I'm getting money and I'm getting championship belts. And then people started to cheer me. It's just the oddest thing. You can't try to control people's emotions, but know that if you're positive and you carry the responsibility of being where you are, with truly honor and affection and love for the position, the kids are gonna want to be like you.
Yeah, DC. I mean, you juggle a lot of hats too. You're a coach at Gilroy High School, I hear.
Mm-hmm.
As well as the wrestling coach for AKA.
Yeah.
As well as being a professional fighter, as well as being a commentator, as well as being an analyst. And if I'm not mistaken, you done slipped in a movie or two.
I hated that. I hated that though.
Really?
I hated the movies. I did not like the movies, man. That's why I'm done with it. I'm a terrible actor. I was not good at it. It takes forever to do nothing. I just can't deal with it. I was like, it takes too long to do. I was in one movie for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and I was there for a whole day. I absolutely hated it. Look, man, I'll be honest with you. I do all these things because I'm not a guy that needs a lot of time. I'm not. When I got too much time and I do crazy things that don't benefit me in the long run, I start living for the short term. I'm just like everybody else. It's easy to get distracted. So I try to stay busy and focus on the right things.
Yeah.
I've learned as I've gotten older that the more busy I am, the less trouble I find myself in.
That's a good way to look at it. A good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Now, DC, you 40, you 40, I'm cooking. Mama raised me right. Now you say you are 41 now.
Yeah, I'm 41. I got one tomorrow. Hey, you don't even ask. I got one, my brother. I got one. I think some guy asked me today. The guy goes, "You gonna keep fighting?" I said no. I said I got one, because here's the deal, Kamar. How old are you? 31? 30?
32. About to be 33.
Yeah. No, you fight these young guys, right? They're 28, 27. I think Adesanya is very young. Some of these guys are very young, right? Hey, I don't have to fight a young guy. Miocic is about to be 38 years old, so I get to fight one old guy one more time. That's it. I ain't fighting no 27-year-old dude. What do I look like?
That's it. That's it. Yeah, you're gonna call it quits.
Man. Look, man, I know that we're in a crazy time right now with the world and the way things are, and it's very up in the air. But I think for me, with the way things were going and the discussions that we had heading into the fight, into all this, the way that the discussions in terms of the fight was going, man, where I am going to fight this guy for my last fight, it's going to be as ideal for me as I could have ever hoped for. It's going to be beautiful. And, I know people like getting scoops. And I think, if I'm just guessing it, I think that the way things are falling, you and I may be spending more time together than most people believe. Obviously,
I ain't mad at that.
Obviously, we can't
always
say
great company. So
obviously we can't say a day and time yet.
yeah.
But it is looking like you and I shall and will be sharing a party, and I think that's going to be a good thing.
Hey, I'm up for that.
You should be up for it. You should be up for it since you're gonna be getting that money.
Hey, hey, the money ain't never hurt nobody.
It never hurt nobody.
People will be asking me. They told me I have to ask you. Do you still have a relationship with Popeyes? Because I might need to go through and get something quick, fast.
I got a pretty good relationship with Popeyes. They treat me nice over in the Gilroy Popeyes. Weilis is the one that you saw. Weilis the other day challenging me to a Popeyes contest. Like, come on, Weilis.
Killing it.
That is the only place I'm taking on Weilis is at the Popeyes. I'm not telling you she's a killer inside that octagon. I ain't messing with Weilis, man.
I believe that she is genetically made to fight.
Nasty to fight. I mean, so much in that fight with Joanna was insane. But I do believe this though. We got to stop giving Popeyes free freaking promotion because that's some bullshit.
I agree.
Want to pay me. Hey, Popeyes didn't want to pay me enough last time. I'm about done with Popeyes.
And you know how they stock got to be up after the last 2 years of that sandwich dropping.
The chicken. Hey, listen. If you had a Popeyes, have you had the sandwich?
No.
It will change your life, son. Don't eat it. It's like crack. Hey,
better than Chick-fil-A?
Don't eat the Popeyes chicken sandwich. It's too good. You'll be addicted. My boy Dana, every day for a week, Dana was sending me pictures of him eating Popeyes chicken sandwiches. I knew it got his ass. I was like, stay away from the chicken sandwiches. Hey, I warned him. He's like, DC, I'm going to go get the chicken sandwich. I was like, Dana, don't get the chicken sandwich. It's going to change your life. And he did, and look at him now. Addicted to it.
Hey, you've gave me warning before, and I didn't adhere to that warning. But this time I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna stay away from that sandwich.
Don't eat it.
But I just want to thank you, man. First of all, happy birthday again,
my brother.
My man. You've set the bar high, and
thank you.
That's where I want to climb to one day, my man.
Thank you for coming on. All right, Usman, you the man. Later,
brother.
Bye bye.